Hello and welcome to another glorious read. I am your host, Aspen M. Sage. Let's get into it. First off, happy Saturday, everybody. I hope everybody's having a grand time. I hope your sun is shining, or maybe you prefer the rainy days for a cozy book reading. I understand either or. I personally like the sound of rain on a tin roof. I am a sucker for the ambient noises ones like that, or like a little coffee shop or something like that. I love ambient videos, especially when I'm reading. It kind of puts me in a place. But at the same time, I hate noise when I'm reading, because then it sucks me out of the world when I'm trying to concentrate. Regardless, let's get into it. So last week, I read the Ambient Monster one by Debbie Cassidy. This one is book 2. This is the Insidious Monster. I really like this series. It's kind of like a little mixture of Scooby-Doo, a little bit of mystery, and a little bit of demon, the supernatural life, the magic. I really love how Debbie Cassidy literally brought this world to life. Especially her character development with August and Carolyn. And I will admit, last week I kept calling her Nadia. It is not Nadia. That's not her best friend's name. It's Nandy. Nandy is the correct pronunciation. I do apologize for that. But this book, I just finished book number 2. It is so fantastic. I love how depth it is. I love the storyline. Last time I said that August and Caroline are kind of like enemies, lovers. They're starting to feel for each other. They're quite not there yet. They had some spicy moments together with some touchy-feelies. This book is dragging their relationship out. And plus, with the mysteries that they're trying to solve, and also trying to get August and her monster separated, they're also facing rift walkers being also combined with other aberrant monsters. There's also Nandi is now being targeted for being a neuromystic by actually another monster from Eldritch. Eldritch is the other realm, the one that Talon came from. So, regardless, there's so many mysteries coming on. Of course, there's our characters Archie, and there is Quentin, and he is starting to be an interesting character. So, like I said, this book has so many things thrown into it right now. Let's start with just August. August is still trying to work for the Order, for Guinevere, who's apparently not such a nice lady, and it comes apparent in the first book, but now it's really apparent. She is still trying to work out her feelings with her inner monster. She's trying to feed her cravings, but she's also working with Carolyn, and she's trying to adjust her feelings with him. But she's also trying to be stoic and hard, but she can't be with him. Then she's dealing with her handler. She's also dealing now with her best friend being targeted by a cult to be basically used for power. And then she comes into a thing with Lotho. Lotho's that succubus. I don't know if I mentioned him or not over the first book, where he's the one that feeds her the energy. And she's now dealing with his prince of his Fey realm, who also wants her. It comes down to a point where all this comes together, and poor August is just torn in so many directions, but she just wants to be herself. She wants to go back to her old way of life, but yet she wants to keep her monster with her. By monster, I mean the demon that inhabits her town. She's starting to realize that she doesn't want him to go anywhere. Like, she wants them to be separated so they have their own bodies, but she doesn't want him to leave. They're still unsure who he is. They're still unsure what's going to happen to him once they're separated. And then there's our monster himself, Talon, who's not sure what to do. He wants to be with her. He's very protective. He's a lot of a mind creature. Nobody touches with mind. That comes very apparent when Lotho has to come up with the plan to basically claim her in front of the said prince who justified an old law. Of course, her monster does not like that. And he's trying to fight his feelings also for her. And he, at the end of the book, basically comes to realization he cannot do it. And it comes down to both of them actually reliving their feelings. And they do finally give in to dead set desires and he is absolutely smitten with her. He was the first to fall, and he fell hard. Where August was a little bit more working up to dead set feelings. Where at first she was annoyed and angry about it, to she can tolerate him, to basically like, yeah, I'm in love with my own demon. And then, like I said, there's Nandy. Nandy is a neuromystic, so she can see the ghosts, she can talk to spirit realm and stuff like that. But this cult is after her, and it starts off that in the first book, and Archie is not happy with it. And he basically saves her more than once. They're trying to figure out why they need her so bad, why this cult is after her, why her body is constantly being drained by these spirits, where she actually, I think, comes into nearly 2 death experiences. I feel like Nani is also much more than the author is leading on right now. She keeps saying she's nothing special, but I have a feeling she is. You get an answer near the end of the book why she's so important, and it's due to this monster that escaped. August is supposed to find this other Eldritch creature that supposedly escaped execution through her rift to her world. She couldn't find him. She goes back to the leader, tells him that she couldn't find him. And now we know where he is, and she actually meets him. And then, of course, you have Uncle Frederick and Archie, who are constantly the comedians or the caring, overprotective uncle, and like that big brother theory. And then you have Quentin. Quentin's obviously the handler. He is becoming more of a mystery. He is, I feel deep down he's a good guy, but his mind is easily manipulated, especially where this author left book number 2 on a cliffhanger, like a serious, deep cliffhanger where he actually drugs August, and then all of a sudden, like at the end, it's him, but it's not his voice. It's like Guinevere's voice. She's like, Quentin's not here right now. So I feel like he is a good guy, and he's trying to fight against the power of the Order, but they keep mind controlling him, and I'm not sure if that's true. I feel like he's like, not easily manipulated, but he's like brainwashed into doing the Order's bidding. And that's another thing. I'm wondering if the Order is actually not so much for helping people, but more for instilling fear. Like I said, this author makes such a good realm, especially with all these different cultures coming together, with the supernatural, the humans, the new bloods, and obviously the Eldritch monsters. Everybody has their own like law enforcement rules, and everybody's got to follow things. And that's another thing is, I'm wondering if Talon was somebody important. Now, I had so many theories I want to think of, like, maybe the reason why he's so drawn to August is because of her mother. Maybe he tried to help her mother, and that's why he's drawn to August, to escape the realm. And you also hear how the aberrants are made, and it's basically a over-tortured soul that is ripped from a body. Basically, it's somebody who has been through so much hell and has been tortured so badly that they have nothing else to be but monsters on revenge. And, of course, now this has got Talon's interest, because I'm wondering if he was somebody so important, like, that he was made into this monster. I'm wondering if it was the Order. Part of me wonders if he was a Riftwalker. Part of me wonders if he was a handler. Like, there's so many things that make me wonder what he was, and I really hope by the end of the series, if it is a 4-book series, I find out. There's also, like I said, August. I'm wondering if August is more powerful than she leads on. Like, I'm still wondering who the father is. Like, was he also a monster like hers? And that's why her mother kept going back to the rift, because maybe she was visiting her lover. Especially where there's a special grave where her, where she was last sighted. And there's this different type of language on it in the animal prints and the boot prints. So it makes me wonder if her father was an actual, like, Emerald monster. And another thing I'm wondering is, like, because at the end of this book, Hart and Talon finally come together, if they're gonna actually have a child. Like, I'm wondering if this is gonna be like an oops pregnancy situation where they give birth to a new blood, basically a new blood that nobody's seen before, other than maybe August herself. Because everybody's so drawn to her power. Like, she's so, like, she thinks she's so normal, but yet she's obviously got this monster in her. She's got able to riff walk a lot longer. She can make her own riffs. So it makes me wonder, like, what her lineage is to make her this powerful. Like I said, her mother was the best of the best, but then all of a sudden she disappeared because she got pregnant. So I'm sitting here going, okay, there's so many theories that I hope link together. And like I said, I'm wondering who Cameron is. Like, I want to know his origins so bad. Other than he knows he's more sophisticated and he's got this more regal manner to him. And he's like very more gentleman-like. So it makes me wonder if the reason why he was tortured is because of his living. Like, maybe he was a nobleman who like gave up his dignity and loyalty, and like there's so many options. And I love what Cassidy does in this thing. I love this book. I give it a 5 stars, 100% 5 stars. I say it needs to be on my bookshelf. And I would recommend this book. Like I said, it's not really a deep smut. It's like a mild 3 or a 3 mild 4. It's somewhere in the middle. It's not too deep. Like I said, where it's more of an enemies to lovers thing. It takes a lot of building. It's a lot of slow burn. Like I said, it's very, very good. I recommend it. But I do love how this book is like a little mixture of like a Scooby-Doo kind of thing. I love it how it's like a Sherlock's Holmes. It's like supernatural. It is just like everything mixed into one. It's such a nice like mystery thriller. I guess enemies to lovers, supernatural, paranormal romance. It is just so many genres into one as I'm reading it. It's kind of funny because, like I said, they live in like a giant castle, like a giant black castle on a hill. So it's a little weird, but at the same time, it gives the right vibe. Like I said, I'm curious to know how the story is going to play out. There's a lot of theories and mysteries, and I still think Uncle Frederick's got a few secrets, some skeletons in his closet. Because what if he knew that August is something more? Maybe that's why he's collecting all these kids. Kind of, well, Archie kind of just fell into the group, but like that's why he adopted August, and that they is to basically bring all these power kids into one place and raise them and keep them safe, because he knows, because maybe he's not so human after all. Like, if his sister was a new blood, but he's not, it makes me question, like, maybe he is, and he's hiding his true ability. Maybe he's like a fortune teller or something, and he can see what the future holds. Maybe that's why he's so overprotective of the kids. I don't know. There's so much to the story that makes me go, wow. I need to know more. I need to know the background. I don't know. I could see almost the story perfectly. Like the dark, dingy streets, bad guys, the good guys. But regardless, I can't wait for the next book. And the next book is actually The Righteous Monsters. And I'm wondering if this is going to be more like the final piece of the puzzle coming together. And then the 4th book is basically maybe them on the run or becoming a new life. Maybe they're trying to take down the order. Regardless, I can't wait until this book is like read. But like I said, 5 stars, complete 5 stars. Spice level's mild. I like it, but it makes me happy to read this book. I kind of wish I didn't wait so long to start the series. And another thing is, I have to finish the series before the next book of Jolie Vines come out, which is basically convicts conviction, I believe it is. I need to read that book. I need more of the Body Count series. I need more of the Skeleton Crew. Definitely. I have to get this series done. I do love this book, though. I love the series so far. I can't wait. And I'm hoping that this author stays strong through her writing. Speaking of writing, I am still working on my book. I definitely am trying to get them done. Every time I think I'm done, one more idea comes in that needs to be fixed. Technically, right now, I walked away from book number 3. I find book number 3 done. I am actually currently working on book number 4. I'm not going to tell you what book number 4 is about yet. All I know is that book 1 I feel is complete. Book 2 I feel is complete. I just need to get them to an editor, get their feedback, and then maybe have to go back and fix some things. Book number 3 I feel is right there. That may be a good story. Might have to go back through, and then I'm working on book number 4. I love how the stories are playing out. I'm continuing the series, and of course, all this character building, all the struggles that my characters face throughout their series, through all 12 books, is leading to the final battle. The final battle with all the Celestials and demigods coming together, with possibly allies, possibly not, more enemies in their mix, all to fight Cain, who's basically supposed to be Lucifer, the devil himself. Regardless, he is the bad guy of the story. And like most stories, the villain is made, and of course there is a story of how Cain became the villain of his story, and why he's so against the Celestials and demigods. There is answers. I try to make sure that the answers are going to be answered by the end of the book. If not, then I will say there may be some more twist-offs in the future. Who knows? But regardless, the books are in works. I hope they get into your hands so you can read them. Your style, because as an author, I do enjoy my stories being read. I do enjoy the input of my readers. Like I said, I let my friends, dear close friends, read the stories because they're every bit a part of the story. I feel like they are the inspiration and they give me the drive to keep writing. But that is all for today, guys. I hope everybody has a fantastic day. I hope you go do something nice for yourself. Go on an adventure, get something nice, go get a book, maybe support a small business, go to your local farmer's market, maybe even, break some fresh bread, try a new recipe you haven't seen, or you've been watching or eyeing. Go do something different. Make life exciting. And thank you for listening to another Glorious Read, and I will catch you next time. Thank you, and bye-bye.